Hey, Radio Horror YouTubers as well as Radio Horror fans. I wanted to talk about a book that I picked up just a few months ago. It was at Five Below, and I feel kind of insulted for someone that this book was to be found at Five Below. This is I believe, the last book by David J. Skal. David J. Skal was a scholar, historian of classic cinema, mostly Golden Age horror movies, monster movies, Universal films. You can find his commentary on some of these films that are here on the cover. And he was a guest on my show for a couple times. And unfortunately, in about a year ago, we lost him in a hit and run accident. Car accident, New Year's Eve. Him and his companion, partner for life, were hit, and his partner survived, but David didn't. Um, if you want to know more about David J. Skal, just Google his name. He was a phenomenal writer, and you might like some of the books that he wrote. This book I found, like I said, at Five Below, is a collection of short reviews and just kind of like essays on various horror movies in full color or black and white to monster kids of all ages everywhere. David J. Skal, you know who you are. Um, they should have a book that's actually dedicated to him. He was such an incredible writer, and he was so knowledgeable of cinema and films, especially at this time period. There's this great image of Vincent Price. It's just sad that I found this at Five Below. I would have paid top dollar actual for this book, but I digress. I found these at a lot of Five Belows lately, but it's as far as I'm aware, I don't know of a lot of other books coming up by David J. Skal. I went to my local bookstore and they didn't have any information beyond just this one. But this is like a Turner Classic Movies kind of produced book. Just great little essays and reviews of some of his favorite horror movies through the time periods. And this really goes from the classics at the very beginning of it to, as you saw, all the way up to Scream. Here's a little table of contents. It goes all the way up to Get Out. And this was just published recently, too. According to the copyright date, this was recently published in 2024. And David died in January 1st, 2024, which is really, really sad. He was only in his 60s. And if you can find a copy of this at Five Below, I highly recommend it. Or if you find it at your local bookstore or online, I definitely recommend picking it up, especially if you were a fan of his, as much as I was. Like I said, he came on my Radio Horror Show a couple times. I wish I had chatted with him more in the last few years. He was an incredible person to look up to when it comes to film history and information about movies and monsters and all sorts of things. It's just such an incredible person. I absolutely love talking to him. He's just a wealth of knowledge. I do love the fact he mentions a girl walks alone at night. That's a favorite vampire movie of mine. Like I said, find this movie Fright Favorites by David J. Skal. I believe one of his last books. If he does have another one coming, hopefully I will track it down. Like I said, it's $5 at Five Below. Definitely deserves more than that. And rest in peace, David. Check out the rest of the videos here on my Radio Horror YouTube channel.